Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, probably Ms. Ms. Ba around. Okay. Could you tell me, as we discussed in our last previous session, what is the test scenario? Let's start from the requirement, and then we'll drill down to the scenario, and then we'll drill down to the test case. Ms. Ba, if you're around.
Catch that. Could you try again?
If you're around, could you
Sorry.
please tell me what is the requirement and what is the test scenario and what is the test case? Hello? Hello? Okay. Can anyone unmute yourself and tell me what is the difference between requirement, test scenario, and test case, please? Anyone can unmute and you can talk about it.
Sir, requirement is, if I take a product, for the product to function, we need certain things for the functioning. That is requirement. Test scenario is a description of how the functional, how the application will function. Test case is how can you test the application, how is it working?
Okay. Again, on a okay, yeah, it's a good one. Okay. Anyone else? Anybody else? Wants to add in? Okay, so the requirement, what we discussed is what the end user or a business user wants to achieve. So let me give an example, a one-liner. Okay, I want to have an user interface or an application or a software to pay my bills, my mobile bill. So that is, the end user requirement or a business requirement. Now, we go back and refine that particular one-liner requirement into many more. We'll go back and ask, okay, fine, you wanted to have a software to make the payment online. How do you want to make a payment? Who should be allowed to make the payment? Which bank you want the money to be deducted from? How the money will be deducted from the bank, your bank, or the person who is paying. So these will become a sub requirements, correct? And now, out of this, for an example, we'll take an example of how which bank the money should be deducted. So then you'll have an interface to connect to SBI, HSBC, Axis Bank, and all those things. And now that particular user will have an option to choose which bank interface or rather which bank account he has to key in. probably you know that not all of the banks interface would be integrated with that application, right? So
Right, sir.
yeah, so you will define those requirements. Now comes, okay, because the one liner now has become a detailed the requirements now. Okay, you'll take one particular requirement, okay, and see what the sub requirements within that. So as we mentioned, integrating the payment interface with the different banks, then you'll have a different scenarios. Visit through your
Yes.
phone pay, does it through your the bank interface, does it through with your Google Pay or Apple Pay and all those things, right? So
Yes, sir.
now you have those scenarios, and then now when you, for example, I take a scenario of Google Pay, then your application, okay, your application should support a Google Pay. That is a sub requirement. Okay. Now, how that Google Pay will actually happen? So you have to have your Google account, and you should have actually configured your the bank details and integrated your bank details with Google Pay. And the moment you use that Google Pay details here in this particular application, everything should be connected back to that, right? So there's a scenario, right? Okay, pay through Google Pay within the application, correct, or your mobile application or whatever. So you have that particular scenario, and take that scenario, and then you will split. When you took that particular scenario, and you will actually going to verify that particular scenario is going to work or working fine or not. In order to verify that particular scenario, you will write the test steps or test cases. Okay. Now let's take an example here. What Ms. Actually have done. See, she have written like an introduction. PhonePe is a mobile payment platform which helps you to transfer money using UPI. You can recharge phone numbers, pay utility bills, make insurance, etc., which is very good. So it's a description of what they want, okay, or what the PhonePe is, right? Now, test scenario, like let's take an example of this particular requirement, right? Using UPI, and you can recharge mobile numbers or phone numbers, pay utility bills, make insurance, payments and everything. Okay. Now I take this one requirement, recharge phone numbers. Okay. Now let's take an example of recharge this phone numbers. Okay. This is my scenario, right? Okay, this is what my requirement. Okay. So how do I recharge my phone? Two things, right? Okay. One, through paying online from your bank
Account.
The second, okay, pay manually, that is cash. Okay. I'm just making up. Okay. Get the pin and enter the pin in the in the phone pay. I'm just making up things. Okay. Could be possible, I don't know. Okay, because I don't use it. Okay, but anyways, okay, let's consider that now through pay online from your bank account. Okay, the next one, pay through your Google Pay, which is connected / integrated with PhonePe. Is it possible? I don't know because I don't use it. And I'm just coming up with the different scenarios here. Okay. Now, if I take this scenario, first scenario, pay, recharge phone with online payment. This is my scenario. How I'm going to verify this particular scenario? I'll say log in into the application. / PhonePe. Navigate to phone recharge. Enter the phone number to be recharged. And then click on recharge.
Select plan, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, could be right. Okay, select plan.
Select recharge plan.
Click on recharge. What should happen when you click on recharge? Okay, it should show you enter the bank details. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Next. Now you click on bank, you enter the bank details and click on submit. What should happen? Successful recharge.
Display successful recharge.
Successful recharge, message should be displayed.
Display.
Okay. Now, what will actually happen with your bank account? So, verify if the money is deducted from the bank. This is another scenario, right?
From the
See,
yes.
this is all done. Okay, now recharge is done, right?
Yes, sir.
Now there is another one to verify whether money is deducted from your bank account or not. Okay,
Yes,
what
yes,
you
sir.
okay, log in to your bank account with correct credentials or details, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Verify if the specified amount in the above steps has been deducted. So when I say above steps, somewhere here I'll refer to this particular step. I'll give it the number to this, right? The steps.
Okay, sir.
And then you'll just verify what actually happened now. So all you're going back and verifying. Okay, what is next? So you will check, okay, verify the recharge of the phone. That's another scenario, right? Because you paid. Okay, it has got deducted. But what if the payment your phone is not been recharged?
Yes.
right? There's another scenario. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You just you'll say access your phone, enter whatever the star hash or whatever. Okay, you call it as, right?
123 hash.
Blah blah blah. Whatever the code. Enter the code to check the available
Balance.
balance. Check if the how do you call this, recharge is successful with the correct amount. Correct? What if, an example, you paid 100, on 100 rupees, and it has been, recharged for 50 rupees?
Yes.
You need to make sure that, it is, correct, it is done properly, right? So these
Yes,
are all
sir.
the positive scenarios, isn't it? See, just we took one example, one scenario, we came up with many things. I mean, making sure the whole process actually is, verified.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now comes, okay, the testing of the negative scenario. What what did I mention in our last session? Again, negative scenario is, just to make sure the application is actually working as expected when the input which you are expected to provide is incorrect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, our system, let's take an example of this one. Okay, verify recharge of your phone. So I'll say, okay, verify the recharge of rupees 500. Okay, I'll repeat all these things, and I'll say, remember, I don't want to write everything. Okay, I'm just referring to this. Okay, now select the plan here. Now in this plan, you'll mention as 500 rupees. Okay, now what you expect in this scenario, your bank account should be deducted with 500 rupees, and you should have the 500 rupees recharged on your phone. Now, what actually happens? For example, you verify the 500, 1,000 is recharged. Okay, let's take an example of this. Now, you enter by mistake 500 instead of 1,000. What you expect? Only 500 should be deducted, right? Not 1,000. You're making sure, actually, even though you entered, you're entered, 1,000 here, and assume, like, okay, ignore this. Assume you have only 500, 500 rupees in your account, and you're trying to enter 1,000. What should your application should do? It should do, like,
The display
probe.
message.
Yeah, correct. Display message of insufficient
Insufficient balance.
funds or balance. See, though, what actually happening? What if you have only 500 rupees in your account and you are trying to recharge 1,000? Okay, what if your application go ahead and recharge you for 1,000? Then there's an issue with your bank, correct? Yes or no? How am I making sure that I enter the invalid value,
Yes, sir.
and which is I'm expecting
I
only
have
to maximum have 500, but you're
500.
entering 1,000, and system is actually recharging for 1,000. Then it is a big problem, isn't it? Bank will be losing the money.
500.
I
Yes,
know.
sir.
I know. As an end user, we will be enjoying. Oh, I got 500 rupees additional recharge, isn't it? we'll go and make a hell lot of calls and sorry for my language, but yeah, we will make a lot of phone calls from friends, family, whatever, right? Or browse through and everything. So
Yes,
who is
sir.
going to lose? The bank is going to lose. So it's a loss to that business, right? So we need to make sure that all these positive and negative scenarios actually been verified. So how, look at this. I came up with a certain scenarios, right? Okay. And then I took the one scenario and I broke that into subtasks or sub scenarios of that main scenario. Do you see this?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Ba, I appreciate you have done a very good job. Okay. So what I see here, you have not managed or written the test scenarios appropriately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So probably you can correlate what we discussed now. But however, I'm really impressed with the test cases, what you have actually created. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's really amazing. Trust me, it is
Thank you,
really
sir.
good. Let's take an example. Look here. The case
Yes, sir.
one. Here you have mentioned a select pay through phone pay wallet.
Yes, sir.
Now you have put the precondition amount should be available in the logged in phone pay user account.
Yes.
And then you have written the steps, okay, from merchant tab, select phone pay, login and select wallet, click on pay.
Yes,
And
sir.
expect as a result, if the transaction says response code is payment success, user should be redirected to success page. If
Yes, sir.
status is not payment, user should be redirected to order failure page of your app. So this will become another test case altogether.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is this is one expected result. This is another expected result. So how
Yes,
do you
sir.
verify this one? So you will repeat the same thing. Okay,
Ye-
you can't
Yes.
write or and statements like either this should happen or this should happen. No,
Yes, sir.
one whole flow, one flow. You will complete that particular flow to check the successful, and you'll write, you'll execute the same steps again to check whether with insufficient or any problem or anything for that matter, then this message should be coming up,
Yes, sir.
okay, or displayed. So you're going to repeat the same steps with a different input.
Yes, sir.
What we did here, we did input 500, 1,000 here, but we're expecting only for 500.
Yes, sir.
But we repeated the whole steps to verify, right?
Yes, sir.
So same thing. Okay, look, you have actually clearly mentioned different, banks.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So all of them, which is really good. Okay. I'm really, really happy with the test steps, test cases. Okay. But
Yes, sir.
probably you would
Thank
have
you,
missed, you have missed out on the test scenarios.
scenarios, and I will try to
Okay.
properly.
Guys, were you able to understand what we were trying to, discuss or trying to achieve here?
Yes.
I've never used PhonePe, frankly speaking. I literally have never used PhonePe. With my little knowledge on the online payments and everything, I just came up. You see this, right? I came up with all the scenarios.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter which application it is. If you know the requirements, you should be in a position to write the scenarios, different scenarios, and test those scenarios whether it is working as expected. Okay. This is a very key step, from our testing perspective. I can actually jump into many other discussion topics and everything, but I really want you guys to be okay. Taking an example, rewriting the test scenarios, rewriting the test cases, and rewriting the sub scenarios as well, and then verifying those. Okay.
Excuse me.
I really wanted you guys to be like, at least to, get familiarized with, to a certain extent where you should be in a position to identify what are the scenarios, what are the requirements, what are those test steps, what is the expected results and everything.
Sir,
Once
please.
you,
Sorry,
yeah.
sir, please check my assignment as
Oh yeah, I'm going to do that.
Rabia Tasneem.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm going to provide the feedback. Okay. But I really want you guys to, redo this, because I saw at least a few of them, it was not in line as what we discussed in the past. And hence I really, I revisited it again. So to make sure that, you are, you're understanding better. Okay. I really, I'm expecting you guys to go back and redo those things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Eventually, I'm going to provide the feedback for others who have submitted. Okay, apologies, I could not look into it. Okay, but I really want you guys to go back and write those requirement test scenarios and the test steps as I've explained, in today's call. I'm, hoping, because it's going to take some time to get into that particular mode. But I'm looking forward for at least a refined test cases or test scenarios, or this test verification document from you guys, in the next one.
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
definitely try.
Yes, I again choose another example. So you have chosen, Misbah, you have chosen, the phone pay. Choose
Yes,
other
sir.
one for now.
Sure, sir.
For the
Sure.
next one. Others too. Okay. If you have selected something, okay, please do choose something else. So
Okay,
you
sir.
will try to think from that particular perspective, how can I actually verify or test that to ensure that it is working fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is a very key thing for for you guys to understand before we move on to the next one. I'm here to say this, unless we achieve this one, I really do not want to proceed further. Okay.
Okay,
I'm sure you will do it this time, you guys, and please do submit your assignments.
assignments. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So any questions again? Okay. Sudha, I looked into yours. It was not to that mark. Okay. I know just probably I know understanding issues and everything, but please do look into it. Likewise, other one as well. If I'm not wrong, so I did looked into Misbah and Aisha as well. Okay. Please do, look into this, and try to come up with your scenarios and the test cases as we discussed. And yeah, we'll meet up sometime this week for sure. I will ask the coordinator to communicate the time and the day. And definitely, I want you guys to submit within another day or two, please, so that we can plan an additional class sometime this week.
Okay, sir.
Probably
Okay, sir.
on Friday. Hopefully, it's on Friday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But I
Thank you.
will communicate back to you. Okay. But please do, complete the assignment.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Next, what assignment we have to do, sir?
The same thing what we discussed now, writing the test scenarios,
Okay.
test cases,
And we have to do that
sub-test.
separate we have to do, sir? Because
Yeah.
scenario, how many things we have to need? We have to
Yeah,
give separate. We have
absolutely. How much ever it is possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any doubts before we conclude? But let me tell you, it's a very good progress. Okay, compared to what we started with. Okay. But I'm pleased with that. Before we conclude, do you have any questions so that it would help you to, complete your task?
And one more thing, sir, which one we have done any mistakes means you please feedback anything we have to send for us also, sir. Because
Yeah,
we have to
that's the
learn
reason.
many things. Yeah, because
Absolutely,
we have
that
already has sent that assignment, everything. But I don't know which one is perfect and which one has done mistakes, anything means. Which one is mistake means again we have to learn something to better
that
our
absolutely, Aisha, I agree with you. That's the reason I explained, again the
Yes, sir.
expectancy here. Okay.
And thank you, sir.
No problem. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you so much,
and I
sir.
look forward to speak to
Thank
you
you so much,
soon, sometime this week. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.